So I am with Edna today. Edna, thank you for making time to chat with me. I wanted to ask you how you got involved with sending care packages.
Well, I started when my grandsons were overseas as veterans, not veterans, but in the service. And that was about 10 years ago. And I would send one or two a month. I started when they were home, then I would send to somebody else. So I started with a group out of Mankato, and they changed their name about 6 years ago. It's now called Chaplain's Wings. And so I still send through them.
That is so awesome. So our story is kind of funny. I'm actually honored to meet you. This is the first time we've ever talked and I've seen who you are. So Diane had set out that she'd shared us through Chaplain's Wings. And I had no idea you were even online shipping. And so you had called me one day and you said, I am not sure how to get my shipping label. And you told me at that time you were 82. And I was like, you just went on the site and created a shipping label by yourself. I was just like, that's pretty impressive.
Well, Diane had given us a couple pages of step-by-step directions.
Okay.
So it was, it was okay. I mean, I was able to follow that. The big problem was that I clicked out of it before I printed the label. I thought after I had my receipt, I was done, but I wasn't done. I needed the label. And that's when I called you to ask you what to do, because I had my paid receipt, but I didn't have a label. And I had to call you a couple times before I got it right.
That's all right.
You were so patient with me, and it's a wonderful service. It saved a ton of money.
I'm so happy to hear that. I think for me, the coolest part was when you had told me you were 82, I was like, oh my gosh, we knew people were using it, but I didn't realize, a lot of our folks are older because they work with nonprofits. And when you said that, I was just blown away because I had no idea you were even shipping on the background. I wouldn't have even known you if you didn't have the problem. So I'm so glad you could not print your label that day.
Okay. I'm actually 84 now. So it's a couple years, it's about a year and a half after I first contacted you, I think.
Oh, so neat. So you have been doing care packages for quite some time now.
Yes.
Do you ever get notes back from people?
Oh, yes. Every once in a while, the soldiers send a response, and they're so thrilled to get them always. Yes.
And then is your family still involved with the military too?
Yes, they are. My daughter's sitting here right next to me now, but it's her son that was in, had 3 deployments. He was in Spain and Afghanistan and
Korea.
Where? Korea, yep.
And then Yen, currently.
And then I have another grandson. He just got back from Iraq.
Okay.
And this is his second deployment too, my other grandson.
So they've been all over.
Between the two of them, I have, used them to send to a lot, but then I always would add, sometimes I do double, because if when they went over, if I was still sending to someone, I waited until they finished their length of service, and then I'd go back down to 1, and then every time another grandson was over there, I'd add another one, so I'd have 2 again. So it's been really rewarding, because through Chaplain's Wings that we mentioned, a lot of the items are donated to the group, and we bring 10 items worth $1 each to spread around, and we send more than that, but we each bring 10 items, and then the rest of it is donated, except I'm a good packer and I always get more in when I get home than what I get. But it's it's good. It's a nice deal.
Well, I'm glad you're a good packer because that's one of the tips that I give when I'm talking to people is make sure you utilize all the space in your box. Fill all those little holes up because you're paying for that shipping cost anyway.
Right. And, there's lots of little candies, hard candies, things that fit really neatly into those little spaces. And so I can pretty much fill it to the brim.
That's great. So I am so glad that you're able to use our service, and I hardly ever hear from you. Every once in a while, I'll email you to check in, but you just kind of do it all on your own. How is it going to the post office for you? How does that change?
Pretty good. The first time I took the box to the post office, they said, well, where did you get this B box? We don't have B boxes here. And I said, no, you don't. The Chaplain Swings gets them in bulk, and that's what we use. And so they took it and saw that the label was prepaid and put it on, and no questions asked. It was in the mail. The first time I took it there, I wasn't sure how it would work, but it worked. And so, it's my local post office. It's very handy for me.
I'm so glad to hear that. So I am just, like I said, I told you when I emailed you that you're kind of the inspiration. You become the inspiration because a lot of people are afraid to use technology. And now I say, well, I was saying I have an 82-year-old lady who uses the tools, and if she can do it, anybody can do it.
Right. Right. As long as in the beginning that we can give you a call and you can straighten us out.
But you hardly needed any help.
Well, it was printing the label that I needed the help.
Yeah.
So you were very patient.
Oh, well, I certainly am so honored to speak with you, and thank you for doing all you do to help our service members, Edna.
Well, thank you for creating Shipthrifty because it really helps with the price of shipping it. So
I'm so happy. Well, I know your daughter's there visiting and she helped you hop on this video call. So I don't want to keep you from visiting with her all afternoon, but I am certainly grateful for the opportunity to actually talk with you and meet you in person. Well, not in person, as close to us in person as we can get these days.
Right. Well, thank you for contacting me. It was great. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Okay. Bye now.
All right. Bye-bye.